I'm here with Michael Galvin from the JDRF Organizing Committee of Crafting a Cure. And the 4th annual Crafting a Cure event is coming up less than a week away.
In less than a week away, November 4th at the Agora Center is our 4th annual event, and we're very excited about it. We've been all putting a lot of hard work into it.
Right. Now, I had the pleasure of attending last year, but for those who may not be familiar with it, let's give a brief run through of what Crafting a Cure is.
Crafting a Cure was started by Jeff and Sherry Lalonde. It's a fundraiser where we do samples from a variety of craft brewers, and all of the proceeds that we make go back into JDRF, which stands for Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, with the goal of finding a cure for juvenile diabetes, which is also known as type 1 diabetes. We have this year 13 participants. We have 12 breweries and a cidery this year, so that's something a little different to actually have a cidery in there. And people will be given a passport. They're allowed 4-ounce samples from the breweries. We'll have wings and snacks and vegetables and such. So it's a really good night out, and at the end of the day, all of that money is going back to JDRF.
Right. And let's face it, with the craft beer boom right now, it's not really a hard sell.
It isn't a hard sell, and it is an exciting night, and it's an awful lot of fun. We have a phenomenal band coming in from Ottawa called Reverb Nation. They have that sort of 1960s James Bond sort of lots of reverb on the guitar sort of sound. So they're going to be playing. And my wife Guylaine and the committee has done a great job in going to our community partners. And we have some fantastic silent and live auction prizes, including Via Rail has come on board, no pun intended. And they're giving a $750 voucher anywhere that Via Rail goes. So we have some excellent prizes. We have silent auction items. We're going to have some 50-50 tickets. A lot of fun to have.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned your wife, Guylaine.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows Michael Galvin knows you're a community-minded person, but this event for yourself and your wife, it does really hit home.
Oh, yes. Guylaine is type 1 diabetic, and actually amongst the committee members of the Crafting a Cure, there's 5 different families that are affected by type 1. So this is a cause that's very, very dear to our heart, and we want to make sure that when we see what goes on with the people that are suffering from this disease. I mean, it's a regimen of a very carefully balanced diet. It's a regimen of multiple injections every day, checking your blood every day, and just the lack of freedom. You know, if you or I are out doing something and we say, well, we'll just skip lunch and we'll have a big dinner. That's not an option for somebody who's type 1 diabetic. So it's a very restrictive lifestyle that you wind up with. And they're getting close. They're getting really close to a cure. There's been some excellent work in artificial pancreas, and also work towards the identification and replacement of the islet cells, which are the insulin-producing cells. So we're excited about it, and JDRF out of Ottawa has sanctioned this event, so we are a sanctioned event from them, and they're very happy for the money that we've raised. In fact, in 3 years, we've raised almost $45,000, and that's been very well received by the foundation, and they're working towards a cure.
Crafting a Cure, it's in the name, and like you said, we're so close, so every ticket sale counts. So how can people get tickets?
People can get tickets at Reuben Brewing on 4th and Cumberland. They can also, if they want to pay cash, they can buy their tickets at Scotiabank. And of course, Scotiabank being an amazing community partner, they're helping us with matching funds again on the ticket sales. If you want to pay with debit or credit cards, Computer Sense Cornwall on Montreal Road is actually accepting those payment types. So there's no excuse to not get them. Certainly get them soon, because as we get closer to the event, the buzz starts coming up, and we will sell out, and you'd hate to be left on the outside looking in.
Absolutely, and especially when you look at the list of brewers. Like I said, anybody who's familiar with craft beer, there's some pretty good names on there. I know we can't name them all, but maybe talk a bit.
It's hard to name
involved.
them all. Of course, our local hero, AJ Rohrbeck and Karen, are going to be there with Reuben. They've won the actual Visitor's Choice Award one year. We have one that actually, I don't want to single anyone out in particular, except Sawdust City reached out to us this year. One of their brewers or principals, their child was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and they actually reached out to us and asked what they could do. And Sawdust City is actually producing a beer with our logo on the can. It's a Crafting a Cure beer, and they're going to be donating to the fundraiser $1 from every can sold. And that's not just the night of the event. As they sell that beer, they will donate $1. So that's an excellent example of the community coming together for us.
Absolutely, and hopefully those cans will be available locally, but at the same time, they're always available through Sawdust City's
Yeah,
website.
Sawdust will be selling them, and I'm hoping that they'll be at the LCBO. We don't have confirmation on that yet, but certainly will be available through the distribution.
Absolutely. Now, as I mentioned, I was able to attend last year, and let's just talk about the atmosphere, because it really is, as much as it's a serious cause, it really is just a fun night.
It's a really fun night, and like I said, I'm really excited about the band. We found them in Ottawa, and they're a really cool vibe sound. And the beauty is that you don't have to be a beer snob. You don't have to be into craft beer. You can come out and you can really learn a lot about different styles of beer, or in this year, the cideries as well. That it's there's a lot you can try, a lot you can sample, and for people that are into beer, it's a really excellent opportunity for them to get up and have a chance to actually get FaceTime with their favorite brewer. It's not a lot different than something like a Comic-Con where you can actually meet your heroes. If you're a beer snob and you get a chance to meet the brewer behind your favorite beer and talk to them about the process and what other things they might be doing, or what's in the works, it's a really exciting opportunity. And the brewers that come down are always excellent. They always take the time to talk about their product. I mean, they're just as proud of it as any other artist is. So they want to talk about it, they want to explain it, and they want to get other people engaged in enjoying the craft beer.
Absolutely. Well, Mike, I want to thank you so much for joining me. Kudos to you, Guylaine, Jeff and Cher, and the whole organizing committee on a great event. I know I'll be there.
Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Right. So as the Sawdust City can say, remember, the 4th of November, Crafting a Cure. Make sure to get your ticket.